morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. How are you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Kunjani, people. Are you feeling good? It's hump day. It's hump day today. And we're halfway through the week. It's been a good week for me. How has the week been for you? Has the week been good for you? How's the week been? Let me know in the comments. How has this week treated you so far? Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. We're going to the other side of the week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Have you been as productive as you want to be? How have you felt this week? What is it, the third week of Jan now? Something like that. Guys, we're still in. Can you believe we're still? I'm playing. But something that's really, I think, helpful. Just to have. Good morning, I'm TT. Good morning, everybody. But anyway, something that can be really helpful, just to have in your mind, not all the time, but in the back of your mind, or maybe all the time. Don't know. Is to operate from a place you're in 2024 while everyone else is in 2023. Why? Because that just might put you ahead of the game. You're technically living in the future. Morning, Kusero. Good morning. Morning. Good morning, everybody. Hallelujah. We're all here today. It's beautiful. If you were to have a 2024 mindset, good morning, Lisa. Good morning. If you were to have a 2024 mindset in 2023, what would that do for you? What would a 2024 mindset in 2023 do for you? Well, maybe you wouldn't be present, as much as you need to be in 2023. Or maybe you would bring 2024 things to 2023, which gives you a year ahead of yourself and of your life. Would you be ready for that? That depends, I suppose, on how quickly you move. Remember yesterday we spoke about the pace at which you do things. So that's technically like speeding up your time, how Beyonce speeds up her time. Her 24 hours is like 2, 3, 4 days a week. So if you were to start living in 2024, now you just expanded yourself a year, Kusela says she was doubting meditation today. Go to now, she's up. Kusela, I was also doubting meditation today, I'll tell you the truth. Because I slept really late yesterday watching Tony Robbins. So the morning I wake up and I'm like, we don't need to meditate every day, dude. But luckily I wake up at 4, just generally. Like my body, my mind wakes up at 4 o'clock. And then I play around in the sleep realms a little bit, and had a not so nice dream this morning. I won't tell you what it is, but it was not nice. But I guess I know why I had it. All the parts of it made sense. So I was just playing around with it in my head, trying to shift it. Although I didn't realize really that I was dreaming enough to just instantly shift it. I was trying to human shift it, as if I was on Earth trying to shift with earthly things instead of being like, wait a second, this is a fucking dream. I can, I didn't do that. But I played around with it in the morning, and then I was like, okay, let me get up, let me move my body and my energy. And after I did that, here today. Top of the morning, Makanani, top of the morning. IMTT says, nah, I missed you guys for 2 days because of load shedding. ESCOM will be the death of us, I'm telling you. But I hope you're able to catch the lives, IMTT, the YouTube videos when I post it on YouTube, right? Kusela says IMTT, shitcom though, is doing the things that Skis, how you feeling? Guys, it can't be that we speak about a country like this. Like, why is it so bad that we feel the need to call the main power grid shitcom? Imagine. It's not a good thing. Somebody's got to do something, you know. I heard, my father told me that. What did he tell me again? He said that banks are now allowing, or rather including, solar power or solar panels in the loans and bonds that they give out for houses. Firstly, that's huge for the solar business. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning. I am great. Hope you are doing well too. I love that you guys are speaking. Keep doing that. That's good. Love that. But the banks are now allowing solar panels to be part of a package. I suppose package. I don't know what you call it. I don't have a house. But part of let's call it package when you buy a house and you get a bond. Guys, who says Peacekeeper said send location or DM me. I'll send you the price. I'll give it to you. No worries, guys. But anyway, how crazy is that the banks are saying, yeah, you know what? We got you. It's a clever move by the banks, by the way. And I'm sure they get it for cheap from China or from wherever it is that you get solar powers. But that's such a huge step for solar companies. And then my dad goes on to tell me that there is no solar company or solar manufacturing company here in South Africa. And then I'm like, what do you mean, honey? I didn't say that, but like, what do you mean there's no solar manufacturer in South Africa? When we need the most solar, how do we not have an in-house solar manufacturer? That seems like such a gap in the market. So if any of you guys have connections to solar power, connections to bringing solar here from outside, or connections to bringing the machines or the tools or the resources that you need to create a solar business, and then you have the engineers that can do it, because there's many unemployed engineers in South Africa. That's money. That's money. See, if I had a lot of money right now, I'd be looking for that kind of opportunity. I'd be looking for someone who's enterprising like that, because that's where we're going. We're going to, I say it's alternative power, but yes, it is alternative power. We're going to different power sources, but we're also going, I think, to individual power structures. And this is what I was saying on one of the VIP sessions. I was talking about Oranje. And I know it's a hot topic when you speak about Oranje and their culture, wherever it is they live. I don't even know where Oranje is. But hearing about what they say, like the little that I know about it, it's independent. It's fully independent. Although they're racist, it's fine. I don't care about that right now. I'm caring about the independence that they have, which is what we're all moving to anyway. If you notice, this is the whole world. Look, 666, the like said 666 when I said that, so I don't know if that's the devil or synchronicity, which one you want to look at it as. But if you notice the whole entire world and the pattern that is recurring and the direction in which we're heading to a self-fed, as in you create your own crops, you create your own gardening, you garden for yourself, such and such. Electrically self-efficient solar panels, those little boxes, they're going to get bigger, they're going to start, lasting longer, they're going to start powering up more stuff, so it's going to become more independent in that regard. What else are we doing that's more independent? Online schooling, e-learning. We're moving away from the institutions. We're doing it ourselves. What else? Cryptocurrency, blockchain. banks are going to become redundant if they don't follow suit and align themselves. We're doing it ourselves. E-commerce, becoming entrepreneurs, becoming online entrepreneurs. We're not getting jobs no more. We're creating our own jobs. We're doing it ourselves. So the pattern is individualism. The pattern is by yourselfism. Yeah, ain't nobody want to pay those crazy fees anymore, Kuselo. It is a great movie, right? So there's a lot more individuality that's starting in the world. What that's going to do is it's going to cause people to seek community, but not large community anymore, not whole scale community. Maybe like in the macro. Is it macro? Yeah, in the macro is in, I don't know. The micro is the small, macro is big, whatever it is. But in the bigger scheme, we'll have online communities that are similar. But in the smaller scheme, I believe that we're gonna have like little factions, little pockets, little oranias, guys, in South Africa and all over the world that live with a particular culture. Each one has its own way of living, almost. There might still be a big structure. We won't get rid of government completely, but we'll be a lot more independent. And I don't know how the government is going to retaliate to that, but it will retaliate in some sort of way. But it's inevitable that we're going to have like little communities. And if you think about it, if you speak to a lot of your friends, especially if you're into this kind of stuff, you will realize that that's what they're thinking anyway now. The youth, people our age are thinking, let me just get off the grid. Let me do my own thing. Let me go plant my own gardens. Let me make my own. Let me do this myself. Let me do this. Get my own water, such and such. When I had this idea, 3, 4, 5 years ago, that no man, I was seeing where this thing was going. I'm like, I need to, because I've always been on the sideline. I've always been an outcast in general. So I was like, you know what? Let me continue that vein and think about ways to become an outcast of society completely. So when I thought about that idea, firstly I thought I was the only one who had it. I thought it was such a genius, guys. Please, nothing is new under the sun. What my dad likes to say. So Black Coffee already does something similar. I think it has its own school, if I'm not mistaken. And then I started speaking to people about it, and they were like, yeah, I had the same idea. And I was like, what? So now it's going to be like, who does it first? And then after someone does it first, it's going to be like, who does it best? But as soon as I get this money, first thing I'm buying is a large piece of land very far away from the main areas of life. Like I'm going to build my own city. That's my idea. And I mean, now you have it, so you can do it yourself as well. It's going to go there inevitably. But build my own city. It might be even here in Eastern Cape. Guys, where the weather is relatively good. It's got hot here though lately. It's just hot everywhere. Global warming. But again, that's not the point right now. The weather is relatively good. It's good forestry. Nice, good land to plant stuff. I don't know anything about planting things. I'll have to find someone who knows about it. They can teach me, and then they'll do it as well for me, for us rather, me and that person, so we can create our own community, our own land. That's why I started my company, Make Your Magic. That's why I do this that I'm doing right now. The goal is to separate. I've always believed in separation, guys. Malcolm X's theories, because Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela are like, no guys, we must unite together in a rainbow nation. I'm like, my nigga, how you gonna unite with somebody that stabbed you and your brother and your mother? Let's not get into those politics today. But I'm like, nah. How about separation? How about some segregation in this piece? But our own voluntary segregation, not the one that they were doing in apartheid, where they were pushing us out. But the idea of being independent is a very good one to me. So let's get back to that. Independent but connected, right? Separate but together. As in, we have our own little factions, we have our own little groups, but we trade amongst ourselves, we connect amongst ourselves, we trade food, we trade money, we trade ideas, we trade education structures, we trade anything that's tradable, like the basics tradable and the higher order tradables. We trade that, but we keep a particular core of the community, whatever it is that you're in. Now, some people might call it a cult. Every time I share this idea with people, they're like, as for Kusela saying that man sold us out, Kusela, don't judge until you go to jail during apartheid for 27 years. So judge. And I'm being judged Mandela. I'm like, you sold us out, you should have gotten economic power, you should have done this, you should have done that. What would I have done? Listen, I don't do well with small spaces and jails, so I probably would have done something worse, you know. So don't judge until you go to jail for 27 years. Who knows what they did to that man in there, you know. And he says it's the only way to foster respect among us. Exactly. Individuality. This is mine. Yes, this is mine. But we can share this. You feel me? Did you get? Some people might call it a cult. As I share this idea with people, they're like, "Why? When are you a cult leader?" Especially since I teach these lessons that I teach you guys, these meditations and these tools and this and this mindsets and all that jazz. So like, and I'm like, maybe it is a cult. I don't care. You know, a lot of the time what people say is bad is usually not that bad. It's usually that they're scared and they don't understand it. Kusela says, yes, that's the idea so far. I've been getting that support and love from building my own community. There we go. Kusela's on the right track. She's also building a cult. Great. So, Bensatine, cult. Yeah, cult is really just another word for, or a shortened word for culture. Culture. You know? And what I like about the cult that I'm creating is like, you can stay or you can go. Like, I don't care. Like, I only want people in my cult. Now I'm saying it and it's become a little too real. I only want people in my cult, I need those air quotes, that want to be there. And also, the thing that people are afraid of with cults is that thing that happened in America where that guy made everyone drink poison and everyone drank the fucking poison. Like, it's poison, guys. But they drank poison to ascend. Done now. But luckily, I'm like, I guys, and the phone of 85, and it must happen naturally. I don't want to drink no poison. I want to sleep and then not wake up. And I'd love that for you guys as well. Like, in fact, I'd love it for you to die however you want to die. I ain't trying to kill nobody. That's bad karma. I'm not trying to like have my children and children's children and children's children carry the load and burden of thousands of people's death. Imagine you bazothina abantwana bam bathi utamkhulu songo wabulala abantu abayi-1000 ke ngoku yiloo nto sinezinto ezimbi apha ekhaya sinelifa elimnyama. Yo, that's a bad reputation. I believe in clout. I believe in clout, and I want the highest clout with my great grandchildren. I want them to say, oh, Koku Songo, he set the way, he paved the way for us to live this beautiful life that we live. You know, he was the beginning of this. I wasn't the beginning, by the way. There's been many people before me, but now I want to do it in a larger scale. Bazoti, he was the guy, you know, that set us up like this. This is why we're flourishing in this way. This is why we're able to help so many people, because he started a wheel, or he pushed the wheel so much further and faster. You know, I don't want like bad energy in my vibes. Not in my family. Not my family. 85 is too young. Maybe 95. See, the problem with getting past 85, I'll get to 86. But if I get past 86, I'm like, now I need to reach 100. Imagine getting to 95 and not getting to 100. That would annoy me, honestly. I would be so annoyed with myself, because you could have just waited and made 3 digits. That's a milestone, right? If you died 95, okay, you were old. You almost got to 100, but you didn't make it. Now people are gonna be that's the mindset I have for people who die 90s to 99. Like, you could have just held on just that little bit. I'm sorry if one of your parents or grandparents died in that time period, but they could have made 3 digits. And that's my problem. I don't want to pass 86 because now I'm like, I guess 100 it is, guys. 100 it is, and now I have to live another 14 years. Guys, what if life is not nice, guys? What if all my plans don't work out well and the government messes us up all, and now I'm living terribly and I have to get to now 100? Imagine. When 86, I'm sure I'll be done with all my work by 86. But Kusada says, but in SA, getting to that age is just a blessing, though. It truly is a blessing, and a lot of the time, it's the people that stay is lalini. Like, I have a grandmother, like not my father's grandmother, my mother's grandmother. My cousin's grandmother on his father's side. I used to stay with them for a while when I was younger. She's like 92 now, and she's fresh. She was in a video of my cousins feeding the chickens. A fresh long to guys. I mean, obviously old age, and the sounds that old people make, you breathing heavily. But she was out there feeding her chickens, walking, speaking normally. She can see properly. And I'm like, you're 92 years old. Why are you this fresh? Like, una 92, she's clearly reaching 100. Because what? The problem with getting that old is that you see your children die, and your children's children might even die before you. And that's just a lot of pain. Kusara says exactly, SA government sold the majority for the good of the few. Now listen, like I said, I don't judge too much until I get into the politics and I'm really like steadfast in political rhetoric, which I was back in varsity, but no more. Then I won't judge anymore because I don't know the ins and outs of what politics look like. I don't know what powers are, because there's a lot of external forces from the world that come down on South Africa whenever it's trying to, how white people are, and it's mostly white people that do this. Whenever you're trying to, as a black country, to ascend, to grow, to be independent as the country in a whole, they're going to start blocking things or forcing things on you. And because they're such a powerhouse, it's hard to resist them. So you have to kind of maneuver. Not absolving South African government or anything, but I'm saying the picture might be a little bigger than we can see sometimes. Nangalizo says, this is a lot we do not understand. There's a lot we don't understand. We think SA is independent, but nah. SA has never been independent. The moment that 1952, was it 1652? Yes, 1652, something like that. That year, I won't say much about what I think that year symbolized for us. They get threatened by Mlungu. Because white people will kill you. And they'll kill your family. And they'll indoctrinate your children. Don't play with white people. You should be threatened by white people and the powers that be, because they have a lot of power in the society. Not saying you should cower, but be threatened by it because they're a real threat. So not being threatened by them is just not smart. Be threatened by them because they're a real threat, but figure out what kind of threat they are as much as possible, and figure out how to maneuver, either to move under the radar until you're strong enough to fight back when it's time, or to be strong enough to fight back immediately and push against it. That's how you deal with an enemy. Don't underestimate your enemy, especially an enemy that's shown many, many times over that they don't like you at all, and that they have the power to completely eradicate you or enslave your whole country, and that they have billions and billions and trillions of dollars. $1 is times 15 rands, and they have trillions of them. And that's how the world works in monies. So unless you're going to step outside of the money world, then be sure to know your enemy and know how to maneuver around or under until you can get over. Kusala says, don't mention that gruesome year. You're 1652. Cha. I'm telling you, that year was not the year for us. But apparently there was times when black people used to rule the world. We was kings, guys. We were kings, man. So maybe we're paying our karmic debt as well. I don't know. Angas. But Oksalayo, in 20 for the longest time. And now I think the pendulum is starting to shift again, slowly but surely, because we're awakening our minds one more time. But now we're realizing, I man, must pull in, guys. Both some of us. I'm one of those people that are like, let's get out of here. Let's leave. This is not a vibe. I don't like this club. Next location, guys. Some people are like, no, let's go to the DJ and tell them to play Amapiano. And I'm like, that guy's not gonna play Amapiano for you. He has a set that he's already set up. He's not gonna play Amapiano. Let's go somewhere where they actually play Amapiano. Okay, let's go home, guys. Let's go home. Have a good time here. Well, let's go home. Let's go home. So says, yes, why do you think our underground gangs are getting exposed now? Exactly, they're getting a lot more clout. And people are like, oh no, it's becoming a fashion to be Sangoma, Twasa, Ondoni. Exactly, maybe fashion in the year too. To us. And if you think about it, it's not that big a thing when everyone has idlozi. Because technically everyone has idlozi, because everybody has a mother and a father, and a grandmother and a grandfather on both sides, and a great-grandmother and a great-grandfather. 4. So somebody in your bloodline is going to be available to you. And the reason that it's now becoming a fashion is because now we're being more open to the connection that exists. Everybody has that connection to their ancestors. It's in your DNA, very, very literally. So if we're not Twasa particularly, that's a different thing. But just a general connection to the people that come before you. If when you don't have that connection, maybe you should look into it. I think everybody should have that connection. I think everybody should have Imbasla is Tile, Amabai. I have a thought about Amabai as well, but I haven't got into it enough to think a lot about it. I'm getting slowly but surely into it because there's a lot of energies that revolve around African spirituality, and there's a lot of darkness as well. So I don't want to jump in. But wonke should be doing their work little by little to connect with their people from before, because they will strengthen you, and then you will have a wider view of who you are and where you come from and where you are going. As the old saying says, to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from, right? So to know where you're going, you have to know where your family has been, so that you know, okay, let's carry it on like this. This is the right direction, or let's pivot like this. But if you're blind to it, then Kuzala says, yes, I still hate going out. I'd rather stay in and get super drunk. Exactly, it's safer inside. She also says our lineage is powerful. Nangolisa says, yes, you cannot play with spiritual things and magic because they bind for generations. They bind for generations, exactly. So you have to be very careful when you do it. You have to be very, very cautious when you get into it. And speak to your people. Tanaza upahle kubo, so they can guide you, and maybe they'll give you something like a teacher. Maybe not a quintwaso a teacher there, but somebody that knows more about it than you, so you can get to the next level. And then and then they'll tell you, okay, this is how it works, this is how it works. Very, very gently, very, very slowly, because it binds for generations. And the goal is to bind the generations to high vibrational things. To izinto ezikhanyayo, izinto ezinhle. Yabo. And it can be very, very dangerous when you just jump into things that you don't understand, or you panic. I think a lot of people, when they find out that they have this gift, because they don't understand what it means to have a gift, they panic, and then they go seek whatever type of teacher, and then and I get it. I get why you panic, because the dreams that you can get and the stuff that can happen in your life can be very scary. So I get why people panic, but super nika wetu. Polas, guys. Why do you need to not panic? This is when these mental things that we do here. We're gonna meditate in just a while, guys. Let me just finish this rant. This is why these mental things that we do here with our minds and our physicality are so important, because it allows us to still have a sense of individuality in ourselves, so that we have a sense of safety in ourselves, so that then we can engage with our ancestors with a strong sense of self, and then we're not just doing whatever they say, but we're having a negotiation with them, because these are people that were alive then, so they are able to negotiate with you so that things can happen in the best of ways. And it's also why we do this work. Another reason is so that we can stay steadfast when things start seeming rough and heavy and scary. We can stay steadfast in ourselves, so that we don't jump the gun and do things that are going to make situations worse. We think as well as feel, as well as connect. We use all our faculties as a human being. It's called Real Flow. I'm funny. Kusela wants us to just vibe. But this is what Fridays are for. Ngangelizo says, Mabuela, all Bantu are spiritual. We do not separate God and spirit from our day-to-day life. Exactly. We can't, literally. Okay, guys, I'm going to cut the flow. Or rather, I'm not cutting the flow. I'm just redirecting it into the meditation. Breathe in and breathe out. Yes. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. Now that we've changed the energy, hopefully you found a comfortable position for yourself. Just find the rhythm of your breath. In, out. In, out. All right. Now we're going to breathe deeply, and we're going to close our eyes and get into our sacred space, into our quiet place. In 3, 2, 1, breathe in into your stomach and close your eyes, and breathe out really slowly. Just sink into the silence. Speaking of silence, actually, I think since this is Wednesday, let's finish the rest of this week in complete silence. Can you hear that? Nothing. So because it's so silent, you might hear a lot of things in the background, like people living their lives, moving things, shifting things. Even in your own background, you might hear that. Just like a thought, let it flow right past you. Move on to the next one. Pay attention to it, acknowledge it, and then let it move on. I think it was Aurora who said she likes the silence. Was it you, Aurora? You don't have to answer now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a quick breathing exercise where I'm going to count us down after we breathe from 10 to 1. And with each number, you get calmer and calmer and sink deeper and deeper into your quiet space, your sacred place. In 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And slowly exhale. 10. Do it in calmer. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. You're going deeper into yourself. 4. Are you more calm? 3. 2. 1. Take a deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Hold it. Hold it and relax your body. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And slowly breathe out. 10. Are you getting calmer? 9. 8. Are you sinking deeper into yourself? 7. 6. 5. Are you being at ease? 4. 3. Are your thoughts slowing down? 2. 1. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it and let it go slowly. As much control as possible. 10. 9. You're sinking deeper. 8. 7. 6. You're relaxing a lot more. 5. 4. 3. 2. Deep. 1. This is a mindfulness meditation. So what I want you to do is simply watch your thoughts as they flow through. Do not identify with any single one of them. Just watch them as if they are traffic on a highway and you're sitting on the sidewalk. Just let them flow right by. Don't attach. You're non-attached to them. You see them, you focus on them, and then you let them pass. Give them a second, and then you let it flow. Also, if you're new here, just before you leave, make sure to join the WhatsApp group. Click the link in the bio. I see there's quite a lot of you in this moment. But welcome as well. Keep your eyes closed and stay comfortable. We're going to sit in a long silence for about 10 minutes. I challenge you to see if you can. If you're new here, the ones who've been here before, hi, we know already. But if you're new here, I challenge you to stay in silence, complete silence, for the next 10 minutes and just allow your thoughts to flow right by. In 3, forget to breathe. Just let it flow. Let that thought flow away with the waves of the mind, like traffic. And you're sitting on the sidewalk watching them drive by. This is a mindfulness meditation. So engage your mind. Be full of your mind. Be aware of your thoughts, but also be aware of your ability to let the thoughts go. Just allow the thoughts to flow right on by. Let them go. Do not attach to them, but do not detach from them. Just be non-attached. That means see them, acknowledge them, and let them go. Like cars on a highway, and you're on the sidewalk watching them flow right by. That is being mindful. Awareness and non-attachment. Don't forget your breath. Make sure it's at a rhythm. Just let your thoughts flow right on by. Non-attachment. On to the next one. This is a mindfulness meditation. Let them flow right on by. Let them go. Even if it's something you consider to be a good thought that makes you feel good. Maybe it's about your future. Maybe it's about a pizza that you're going to eat later, or a burger, or the money that you're going to get today. Doesn't matter. Just let it flow right on by. Non-attachment. Let it flow. Let the thoughts flow right on by. Right on by. Bring yourself back to your presence. Be aware of the thought, but let it go. Let it flow. Let it drive on by. Aware, but non-attached. Mindfulness. Don't forget to breathe. Breath is life. Just allow your thoughts to flow right on by. Non-attachment. If you find yourself going down a rabbit hole, just bring yourself back and be non-attached. Aware, but non-attached. Mindfulness. Don't forget to breathe. Alright. Now we're going to put our hand on our heart. Put your hand on your heart. And we're going to show some gratitude for this moment. This time I want you to create a thought. Either make it a memory, a fantasy, a vision, a dream, or be in the present moment. Always good as well. What you're going to do is play it out in your head. Just notice, either in the present moment, notice where you are and what you're doing. it's a memory, notice where you were and what you were doing, something that made you feel grateful. If it's a vision or a fantasy, notice where you're going to be, notice where you want to be, and be grateful for it in this moment. Just play it out. Feel the feeling in your chest. Make your chest warm with gratitude. You are here, or you are there, or you were there. And you feel good, blessed, aligned, grateful, happy, at ease, peaceful, purposeful, energized, whatever it is. Feel it in your heart right now and allow it to circuit from your heart into your hand, down to your elbow, up to your shoulder, right back into your heart. This circuit is very important because it allows you to be able to move the energy in your body via your energy highways. So focus on moving that warm feeling, that grateful feeling, that gratitude feeling through your hand, through your arm and back into your heart. It's okay if you don't feel the circuit yet, just feel the gratitude. But if you do feel the circuit, just move it through and through. And then we're going to say thank you 7 times in 3, 2, 1. Say thank you. 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 Alright, now we're going to breathe in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. You can let go of your heart. Hold it. And then breathe out and release all of the emotions, all of the feelings, and release it all into the universe, back into life. And we're going to breathe in again one more time, and then you can open your eyes when you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. And release the meditation. Thank you. You can open your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back. Back to life. Back to reality. Welcome back to reality. This reality. I always make sure to say this reality or physical reality, just to get it in your head and in my head as well, that just because you imagine things and spaces in your head and they're not physical, doesn't mean they're not necessarily real. Why? Because everything that you ever see and perceive has to go through your mind, your brain, to be perceived. Therefore, technically, logically, that which you perceive with your mind and with your brain is real to you. So you can create worlds with your mind. You can create anything with your mind. How do you feel right now in this moment? Back to the sun, Nagalisa says, right back to the sun. We love the sun, energizing. Kusela says she's spreading love and care. That's to everybody here. Thank you, Kusela. We receive your love. We receive your care. Thank you. guys feeling? If you're on the group, or wait, let me start like this. If you're not on the group, the WhatsApp group, click the link in the bio. It'll take you to somewhere that says WhatsApp group. If it doesn't open the first time, just go out and then click it in again. Instagram, Twitter, what is this app? TikTok is doing something weird. Debocha says they're feeling hopeful. That's a beautiful feeling. It's good. You can see the light. Kusala says she's feeling gratitude. She's just grateful. Amazing. I love that. Aurora says she's feeling grateful. That's correct. That's good. If you're new here, you're not on the group yet, click the link in the bio. It'll take you to a place that says WhatsApp group or DM me. Choose whichever one. If you want to talk to me personally, DM me. You'll get a stock message saying that you up later, and then we'll put you on the group after we've connected. Bongani says they feel grateful, or you can join the group directly, whichever one you prefer. The group has these meditations on YouTube, just in case you miss one. I send the links there. I send the links to join the meditation just before we start. I send questions for you to engage with during the week so that you can increase your self-awareness. I ask questions about times for meditations, times for lives, so you guys can engage with me. And this is what I also wanted to say. If you are on the group already, just go there now or after this session and just suggest ideas for the topic for Fridays. So someone suggested already yesterday. I'll tell you what it is on the group. What was it? I'll tell you what it is because I forgot what it was. I have to go back and check. Someone suggested it. So if you have a topic that you want to speak about, you want to engage with, either you want to hear my thoughts on it, or you want to share your thoughts. Maybe you want to come on the live and we can speak, or you just want to do it in the comments and hear me rant. You know, I can rant for days. Whichever it is, share your idea, share your thought on the group, share what you think we should discuss, and then we'll plan it out week by week, and we'll talk about that kind of stuff. I'll ask it on the group after this. What do you guys think we should talk about on Fridays? Come up with topic, guys. I've got a lot of topics we can talk about. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what y'all want to talk about. You guys are interesting people, so you'll probably come up with really interesting topics. I know Ngangelizo Apekoyo, they're already thinking about what they want to talk about. Tiaguas. But yes, if you also want to suggest something on the group, but you're not on it, again, join the group, click the link, and let's get it popping, let's get it going. Anyway, that's it for today. It is 7 o'clock. By the way, we had like 50 people on this live during the meditation, and I challenged people to stay for 10 minutes in silence. People couldn't do it. People really can't stay in silence just for 10 minutes. Just like sit. Liz says thank you. Kusela says we love you, Narans. Thank you. One thing about me, I got thoughts. I might not speak that often because people get weird when you start sharing your perspective, and if it differs from them, they don't know how to handle conflict, you know. So I like to question more than I like to make statements, and I like to listen more than I like to speak most of the time, especially dealing with clients. And in this space, I think this space is more of a listening space than for now, it's more of a listening space than a speaking space. But Fridays, I can't stop being Teta Friday, guys, and I don't know, it's gonna go theoretically for an hour, but y'all know I can go for days. So we're probably gonna get on a roll, and we're probably gonna be like, okay, guys, that's too much now. It's late. Let's go to sleep. We want to go drink. Let's go to the clubs. You know, some of y'all, I don't drink anymore. Some of y'all. Sort of says it's important to stay in silence because always you spend time with yourself more than anyone. Exactly, like you're your longest standing relationship. So if you don't like yourself or you don't know yourself, that means you're spending most of your time with a stranger or with someone you don't even like. Who would want that? Like imagine all your time is spent with somebody you don't like or somebody you don't know. for someone you don't love? You just vibing, you just chilling, really? Come on. Especially if you're above the age of Masiti 19, Masiti 19 self-awareness a little bit, just a little bit. If you're above the age of 19, highly suggest you sit in silence. Thing is, when you're 19, you're very sad. Actually, I was very sad, at least when I was 19. So I wouldn't sit in silence, but I would sit in the dark and I'd play Frank Ocean in the back. And I'd think about my life and I'd cry and be like, oh my god, life is terrible, it will never get better, I'm so sad. I'm a very dramatic person. According to the people in my life, I don't think I'm dramatic. But yeah, but I'm dramatic. And now that I say what I was doing when I was 19 and 20 and 21 and 22, I still do it. I guess I can be a little dramatic. Just chilling in the dark, playing Frank Ocean and just... But it's better to do it in silence because then you'll be confronted with your own thoughts. I was dumped by Frank Ocean. I think that's my cue to leave. Frank Ocean, I love Frank Ocean. And spiritually, he loves me too, you know. He's done so much for me in my life in terms of my emotions and music and storytelling. My 3 favorite artists. Well, this is why I don't speak because it can be controversial, but okay. 3 favorite artists: God, Frank Ocean, in this order, and controversy, Kanye West. He's my favorite artist, not my favorite person. I don't know about his ideals and his thoughts. I don't engage in them. I do think some of the things that he says are true, and if we listen to the large parts of the things that he says, we might find some truth in it at least. But besides what he says, his music, that's what I love. Yeah, have you heard Kanye's music? Oh my god. Genius. He is a genius. He is. That's just what it is. He's produced some of your favorite tracks. If you like Alicia Keys and you like that song, you don't know my name, baby, baby, baby. Na, 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 na. If you like that song, then you like Kanye West's production. Because Kanye West made that beat. Kusada says, yes, I love him. Frank Ocean, Lauryn Hill, and I'm also a hip-hop head. Love that. Okay, Kusada, we see you. Lauryn Hill is a good one. Lauryn Hill is a good one, especially with Miseducation, particularly with Miseducation. And those live unplugged versions that she did for thingy, where she sang that song. My favorite song, one of my favorite songs of hers is it's just like the water, I can't, I ain't felt this way in years. Do you know that song, Kuzel? If you don't know that song, hit me up in the DMs, I'll send it to you. It's a whole live session. Alrighty then, guys. It's now 7:05, right on the dot. Yes. Again, I'll ask on the group what topics you guys want to speak about. I assume mostly people here now are people that are on the group, or at least planning on joining the group. So I'll ask what topic do you guys want to speak about. You guys share ideas. You can share 2, 3, 4 ideas so that we have conversations lined up for the entirety of this month, next month, maybe even the year. Who knows? Very excited for that. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining this meditation. And I will see you here, same time.